3 myths about energy healing that's keeping you stuck and what actually helps. If you ever thought energy healing is kind of woo-woo, or I tried it once but it didn't really do much for me, or can't you just fix me? You're not alone. And I'm not here to convince you with feel-good language. I'm here to clear up 3 common myths that typically keep a lot of people stuck, especially if you've been skeptical, burnt out, or if you've been the strong one for way too long. I'm Corey. I'm a Reiki master teacher, energy healer, and personal development coach. I'm based in Hong Kong, and we're not about fluff over here. This video isn't medical advice. It is not a replacement for therapy. It is information so that you can make clearer choices about what support actually feels good for you. Myth number 1, energy healing is woo-woo. Let's be honest, it's often seen that way. And I laugh myself whenever I see scenes of someone doing Reiki or some sort of spiritual work on TV or in movies. It's hilarious, honestly. But in all seriousness, it's because energy healing is in an unregulated industry, which means literally anyone, if they are persuasive enough, can portray themselves as a healer. Anyone can call themselves a healer. There isn't one universal standard. And unfortunately, some practitioners do cause harm, especially to people who are already vulnerable. And that's not spiritual. It's unethical. So if you're skeptical, I don't blame you at all. Skepticism is discernment. Think of it this way. Energy healing doesn't need to be vague. It doesn't need to be dramatic or performative. A good practitioner should be able to explain what they're doing in plain language, have your consent, respect your boundaries, and never position themselves as your savior. At its best, energy work supports your nervous system and emotional regulation so that you have more access to clarity, steadiness, and choice in real life. And honestly, taking care of energy is usually the most neglected part of healing, but it's foundational because energy is what your body runs on, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And to be honest, as an energy healer who specializes in emotional healing, I can tell you with confidence that emotions and energy are directly connected. Myth number 2, 1 session and you're done. A good session can absolutely create real relief. You might feel lighter, you might sleep better, you might actually stop spiraling for the first time in weeks. But relief isn't the same as resolution. Most patterns have layers, especially the ones tied to chronic stress, people-pleasing, perfectionism, family conditioning, or grief that you never actually had time to feel. If you've been in a pattern for 10 years, it's unrealistic to expect 1 session to undo it all. These are learned responses, which means they can actually be unlearned. But it usually does take repetition, integration, and the right support. Myth number 3. I don't need to change my habits or my boundaries. I just need to clear my energy. This is the myth I see the most, especially with high achievers, because you're exhausted and you want results without having to slow down or to feel or to change your patterns. I get it. But healing is a co-creation. And what does that actually mean? It means that the session is not the finish line. It's actually the beginning of a different relationship with yourself. And your results depend on things like your willingness to feel instead of bypass, your honesty about what's not working, the choices you make after a session, the boundaries you keep avoiding. Here's a real example. If you get clarity from a session that you've been overgiving, and you've established that it's unhealthy and it's not something that you want to keep doing, but you walk out of the session and you keep saying yes when you mean no. Maybe you feel bad, maybe you feel guilty. I get it. We've been there, and that's part of the process. So let's say you decide that you're just going to keep saying yes when you mean no because it's too hard. You don't want things to change. That's a choice, and you'll keep taking the hit, and things won't really change. And maybe one day you get really sick of it, and you're like, no, I'm serious. I'm done. You know, we've all been there. It might sound familiar. And then you really start saying no, maybe in small ways, and that's a different choice. And the outcome might be different. Things might start changing. And that's what I really want to highlight. Energy work can support you. It can, for example, help you feel calmer so that you are able to see things with a broader perspective. And that itself may create a different reaction towards things. And from there, you can make different choices if you want to. Healing starts in a session and it shows up in your choices. The old pattern has served you for a long time, and now you're ready to shift it. If you want energy healing to actually help you long term, try this. Set an intention that you can actually measure, not something broad and vague like fix my life, but something more like I want to spiral less. I want to be able to have deep quality sleep at night. I want to feel less sad or angry about something. I want to be able to speak up without shaking. And notice any changes, big or small. After a session, your system is more aware. Your reactions might be different, your perspective might change, the choices that you make might be different. Pay attention to those changes. That's when healing is showing up. Choose a small integration action. One boundary, one honest conversation, one nervous system reset practice. Small, consistent actions are what teaches your body, we're safe now. We're good. If you've been curious about energy healing and you don't want the fluff, you're in the right place. If this video resonated, leave a comment with the myth that you believed in the most, or a pattern you keep repeating even though you know better. And if you want support, you can message me. Tell me what you've tried and what's not changing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye for now.